And so Co2 was like became cloud native. All of a sudden you had these best companies talking about, you know, how they were able to use all this data and get it into one place and do data science on it. And so we built out this data science platform like over the course of those years. And it's been amazing. And so kind of like thinking about how this tech will transform Co2, like that gets accelerated massively in the AI world. And like my belief and something that I spend a lot of my time on is how do we use AI internally and how do we build a workforce and reimagine the workflows, especially in a space where like, you know, as you know, most financial service companies, whether it's a hedge fund or a bank, are like the last guys to adopt tech, right? And so we think that there's like a huge moment where we're able to create kind of the investment fund of the future. And like, it's happening now. Like my view is that like this is, I tell my friends this and they like laugh, but I think that today, 85% of what I do, like basically can be done by AI. And it's not a question of is the tech ready? It's how do we implement the tech? And so like
So I found this clip like super interesting from this episode from Sorcery. And so I wanted to show you how you can do some of these on the workspace. So the cool part about it is that once I have like an empty dashboard and I have built my collection of widgets, which could be hundreds or thousands even, I can select the data that I want to see and create like a specific workflow that makes sense for me or my team. So in this case, I implemented the polymarket endpoint like yesterday. That was driven by what Jose from our team has built. And so there's these event stats called polymarket, which I can click here. I add onto widget. And now we have basically the top events coming from polymarket. But let's say that I want for the earnings calls. So I have the earnings calls, and now I can see several companies. Will Asana beat quarterly earnings? Will Snowflake beat quarterly earnings? Rubrik. And you can see like what is the site of volume. You can even go on to chart mode if you want, so you can do something like chart settings, and let's say that we want like a bar chart, and then I can remove all of these, and now you can essentially have volume, and you can see that the highest volume is the one for the exporting goods. But in the case, I don't want none of these. I want to actually focus on Snowflake. And so let's say that now you want to have like some estimates of what people are saying regarding Snowflake. So I could look into earnings because I have a widget that's called earnings. Maybe it's this one here. And right now here there's several tickers, and so I'm interested to see, okay, this is dated, and then the reported date, and then we can see when it was last updated. But in this case, I want to look for Snowflake. Let's say that's the one that I want to focus on. I can come here, I can look for Snowflake, and I have it here. So perfect. So I'm gonna add this as information here. It's visible here. Now let's say that I want to add on top of this the historical. What were the past earnings for Snowflake? So I can look into historical. Earnings, and I think it's this one in the analyst estimates category. I'm going to go to snow ticker instead of annual. Let's do quarter limits. I don't know, maybe we don't need that many. Let's just 5. So we will have here the 5, like the estimated revenue low, revenue estimated, revenue average, and a lot of other metrics that you can see here. And let's say that you want to add even more. So maybe I want to add, I don't know, metrics, for instance. Let me see if I have like recently here. I want to add this one, which you can over here on top to see is the fundamental metrics for a given company. And so I want to do it for Snowflake. I want to do including time. Let's do quarter here based, and let's do the last 5. Okay, so now you have quite a lot of information that is all available on this dashboard that I was able to aggregate pretty fast. And now the cool part about the workspace is that you have an AI agent that works on top of all of this data. So in this case, I actually had like a super simple prompt that I wrote that it says, analyze this data and feel free to get additional data from the web. What do you expect to happen in snow earnings? So this was like really fastly written, and this is a new feature that we have that basically allows to enhance the prompt. So it's basically converted into using these available historical analyst estimates, fundamental and recent earnings data for Snowflake, along with any relevant real-time information from the web. Please analyze and provide your expectations for Snowflake upcoming quarterly earnings report, include insights on projected EPS, revenue trends, etc. So it's basically writing like this report for me. And when I click on send, you'll see that you will basically process all the data here from all of these different like data sets. So we have like polling market, we have earnings, we have financial metrics, and I could put my company meeting notes, or I could upload like additional documents, and it's all within your control. And in this case, because we are like betting on the AI to provide an answer for us, what we can do, you can actually expand the screen, and you can go into this AI only mode, and you can see what the AI is doing. So you can see that he's doing a lot behind the scenes. He's doing these queries, he's requesting data from all the different sources. You can see the endpoints, the parameters that are being sent. He's generating like preview artifacts to see like what the data looks like. He's even generating some SQL data, and maybe this is to get like the top values. And then at the end, you're gonna have this response that that you can use that to make like actionable. And the nice part about it is that I think it can not just automate the human workflow and allow the analyst or sector head of like a hedge fund to have like a bigger mandate and be more efficient, but it allows you to like automate more and more workflows over time, because this could be now a prompt that I save, this could be a dashboard that I store, this could be even a dashboard that I share with someone on my team, or maybe the CIO. So I could go here, click on share, and then basically be able to share that information. And then you have this final like report with all the data, projected EPS and revenue trends, fundamental metrics and financial health, market sentiment, risks and catalysts, and summary expectation. And Snowflake is expected to deliver strong revenue and EPS growth, but investors will closely watch for signs of improving profitability and margin discipline. Market sentiment is bullish, but the stock high valuation and ongoing losses mean and any disappointment could lead to volatility. And then you always have the citations of where this data is coming from. You have also extra information from the web, and if you want, you can actually create like a text widget from this that you want to add onto that dashboard. And now when I go onto that dashboard, you'll have this new widget with all the data that was created from this tab. So this is an example of how you can leverage, like, and you can also go into dark mode, but this is an example of how you can leverage OpenBB for combining several different data sets into one dashboard and have a very slick workflow essentially.